Hey guys, KnightSeeker here, and welcome back to another video on Cardfight area. And I'm your host, KnightSeeker. Now, here's a few little announcements I gotta make. Probably this week and the next few weeks, I'm going to be a little busy. So, be expected to probably have maybe some videos that are not that good, or probably no videos at all, because I am trying to first keep up with my schoolwork and study up for my exams, as they're coming up pretty soon, and midterms are coming around as well with my other classes. And let me tell you, there are some subjects, the subjects I'm in are like, I really need to pay attention to what I need to know, because if I don't, well then I could be in a whole lot of trouble. But yeah, so I hope that little announcement can help, but that doesn't work. I still do stream. I'm able to still stream over Twitch, okay? On a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, okay? If you have not followed me, do go follow me there, okay? So at least you don't miss any kind of contact with me, or or at least you know that I'm not dead. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just get on with actually a deck build. I know we haven't done it like in a past few videos we have done. If I remember correctly, I know that you guys been liking the Yasuie deck for a good bit. Like, you guys really loved it, and I understand why, because I watch videos mainly different fight. He had a graph that showed Yasuie was coming in second place, well, with Luard taking first. And that's what the deck we're covering on. Really, what a friend of mine did, and that's what I was like, that looks pretty interesting. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with a deck build. And yeah, this is mainly a Luard deck. And I know, like, don't click off the video yet. Don't click off. Now, normally you just like, oh, okay, so it's obviously going to be the main turbo. No, because why? If you already not know, you've already seen the ban. The bans are coming in already, so they're not probably implemented yet, but they will be soon. And I was like, you know what? Let's just build a deck already let's just build a deck that's been treated as has already been limited, or like by the ban system. So we did fix up a little things. Well, actually, the few times I was playing with this deck, and here's like let's start with grade 0. Obviously, you go with the starter because the artwork fits with the actual grade 3, because that's what mainly this from G era. I went with this draw trigger because nice artwork. Nice artwork. Obviously, you go with normal 2 draw PGs, because you'll be thinning your deck a good amount, so you'll be able to most likely hit them. Then we have Luard's special crit, mainly the crit sentinel. That is really beefy. It's really good beefy amount. Then we have the 4 heals, which obviously I like. I always like this art, but this art is also pretty good as well. So yeah, really for the grade 0s, you have your 1 starter and the 16 triggers, which is 4 crits, 4 draws, and 4 heals. For your grade 3s, we obviously have the 4 Luards. For the base Luard and for drag driver Luard, okay? So, if you don't know what his effect does already, either you live under a rock, or you decide to not, or you just don't like him. But if you're like any curious like how to build him, well, here's how it goes. He has 2 effects. Let's talk about drag hard Luard. His effects really goes like this. He's a Vanguard. Both of them are Vanguard skill. Same thing with Drag Driver. So basically, they're mainly your main Vanguard. Okay, and luckily since they're only 2, it's not gonna be that much of a problem. Let's talk about base Luard. Base Luard has 2 effects. One is his active effect, which is retire 2 grade 1s, and yes, they have to be grade 1s for this to be used. You draw 1 card, then you choose one of your opponent's units and retire it. Now, thanks because of the ruling, even if you do retire your 2 units and you don't retire not one of your opponents, you still draw because you're doing as much of the skill as possible. That's pretty good. Always remember that. So it's like, oh, I can't do this because my opponent doesn't have, like, for the full condition. No, you can still do it and you can still draw, okay? Remember, you have to do as much of the skill as possible. Now, why you're retiring grade 1s, all things? Are they supposed to be like your boosters that you need? Yes. However, that's what's also going to fuel this deck, and mainly base Luard's skill. He has another effect. It's another active, really. And it's a counterblast free. However, its condition is that for every grade 1 in your drop zone, this cost gets reduced by 1. So, if you have 3 grade 1s in that drop zone, well then this ability is treated as a free use. And what's the effect? What's the condition you need to do? Well, return to normal unit. So yeah, this is like another way of balancing, but then again, it was not enough. It was not enough. Basically, you return 2 normal units from your deck to your deck. Then you search your deck to up to 1 drag driver Luard, and you write it as stand. Shuffle your deck, and then by the end of your turn, you rewrite base Luard from your soul as rest. So yeah, really, on your first grade free ride, not only you get 2 force markers in pretty much your front row, well, basically from riding him and then riding drag driver, but by the end, when you return back to normal Luard, you get another force marker. So really, you got 3 in 1 turn. Well, by the end of your turn, really. And because how drag driver has a good effect as well. He has an effect that his first effect is really to say, hey, don't bother putting your force markers on the vanguard. Put them in your rear guard, the rear guard front row, and that's it. Now, here's what it says. It says during your turn, this unit gets +5 for each of your grade 1 rear guards. And it has another condition. If 2 or more grade 3s in your soul, if you have 2 or more grade 3s in your soul, basically of any kind, basically of it's either Luard, sorry, this guy, probably him, I don't know. Then, all the original crits of your grade 1s become 2. So basically, it's like you're treating your rear guards, mainly the front row, because since they're going to be the most used, as pretty much like a stand-in of a Force 2, but however, you're free to access all the Force 1s you can get. So yeah, by the time you re-ride, when you re-ride, well then be prepared to be ready for it. Because by the time you do your second drag driver, that's when your second crits are gonna come in and just slam your opponent. What else? Oh yeah, he does have and if he feels empty, well, he has another effect. Is that when placed, counterblast 1, search your deck up to the number of cards in your soul with Luard in his name +1. So basically, on your first turn with drag driver, it's 2. On your next turn, it's pretty much 3 or 4, depending if you rewrite the base Luard again. Then you call grade 1s. Call them to rear guards and you shuffle your deck. So yeah, that's why it's usually best to have a good amount of grade 1s and not a lot of grade 2s. Just enough to give you enough grade 1s to call, but also keep your rides going without much problem. But yeah, for the grade 2 lineup, we do have 4 of Drag Wizard Mortifast. And this one, she's a pretty good effect. Is that on rearguard and deck, if you have a Vanguard with Luard in its card name, this card gets grade -1. So basically, it's treated as another 4 grade 1s in your deck. So that's pretty good. You can actually call it from the deck with Drag Driver's skill. And she has another effect on rearguard. At the end of the battle, it attacks if you have 4 or more rearguards with original grade of 1. Basically, they cannot be another Mordred since her original grade was 2. So basically, you need to have... Basically, it's treating like you can have 1 copy of her out at the same time. And that's why? Because you need just actual grade 1s on the field. Counterblast 1 and retire this unit. Call up to 1 grade 1 from your drop zone to rear guard. Now, this effect is pretty good, and it comes with a pretty much comes up with a good combo that a friend of mine, McFlame, showed me. It was like, what? That's actually, I thought before the limited, I thought you can only make up to 4 attacks, really. But after what he showed me, you can make 5 attacks with this deck. 5 attacks. Seriously. And that's mainly from your front row alone. Basically, your first 2 attacks, bam, bam. Then you're refilled, and the combo initiates. What is it? Well, we'll show you. Then we have Drag Wizard Linafid. He has a very simple, but yet powerful effect. When placed, Caramel's 1. Search your deck up to 1 grade 1, call it to open rear guard, and shuffle your deck. That's it. You fin the deck. You probably, if everything goes well, you can call a really favorable unit, more combos, more drawing, more everything. But again, it all depends on the combo, okay? And then we have your normal Blaster Dart. Obviously you already know, it's a when placed, counter plus 1, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guard, and retire it. Normal. Then, if your opponent has no rear guard, you can discard a card, and this unit gets plus 1 drive. So basically, it's a pseudo grade 3. In a way. So he's a pretty good Vanguard target to go for, because you do want to get you do want to do try checks. And plus, that discarding can actually help you get another grade 1 into your drop zone, which also can fuel the drag, pretty much the Luard skills. Mainly the base Luard. Now, for our grade 1s. Now, this is a very interesting thing with Shadow Paladins. Mainly with Claret Sword and Luard. Because how they really rely on grade 1s, they tend to be a little overboard. I think this is probably the right amount of grade 1s we got. And because how Drag Driver and Drag Hard can just recycle these cards, you don't have to run as many copies as for each grade 1s. For example, we can have 3 copies of the Abyssal Owl, 2 copies of Apocalyptic Bat. Well, now you're asking, why is this card here? Well, if you've not seen any proxy plays, or from a channel I know that does it, well, I'll explain. Well, let's just go through for each grade 1. Abyssal Owl. He's a really, really good grade 1. He's 5k, so not a good booster, but he can be a good attacker. He has a both auto on Vanguard and Rearguard. This cause you may pay this as a Soul Blast 1 if yours and your opponent's Vanguard are the same grade. Otherwise, you pay Counter Blast 1 and you draw a card. Simple. It's so simple. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's so simple, yet it's so powerful. So yeah, so let's say you're going second. By the time when you always write, you're always at the same grade as your opponent. Basically, this owl is treated as Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Just being being placed. There we go. Then, your other grade 1 that's very important is Drag Wizard King. Now, he has a 1 effect on Vanguard and 1 effect on Rearguard, which is, when placed on Vanguard, look at the top 7, reveal up to 1 Drag Card Luard or Drag Wizard Linafel from among them, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Free grade 3 search or free grade 2 search. So that way you can make sure you're always riding wherever you can ride to if you don't have those targets for those turns. Then we have him because, you know, Hardship, Shades, Decoy. I don't know how you say the name. He has a continuous effect. It's that if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, all your front row grade 1 units get intercept. So basically, you get 10k interceptors at all times, as long as this card stays on the field. Now we have another copy. We have 1 copy of King. We have Knights of a Combination Dalet. He has an effect, and this is a hard once per turn effect. It's that when placed by your card effects, mainly by Luard, you drag Driver Luard, well then use a Soul Charge 1. This is a hard once per turn. So basically you can't really call on multiple of these and get a lot of Soul Charge. That doesn't work. Now, the two combo piece, really a combo piece we got. Apocalyptic Bat. Now, you may recognize him. He came from the very early sets in Standard. He has effect on Vanguard. It's that when placed, you may call a card from your soul to rear guard. Okay? Then, that's very simple. But then, he has another effect on rear guard. When on placed on rear guard, you may call another Apocalyptic Bat from your soul to rear guard. You see what I mean? And how are we going to do that? Well, we have Nightmare Painter. Nightmare Painter has an effect on rear guard is that when placed, cost, put a grade 1 or less from your drop zone to your soul. And this unit gets plus 3k. Now, here's where the combo goes. Here's how the combo really goes. You mainly go like this. Okay, so get everything set up. You need first your painter. Call painter. You have a popped up like a bat. You put it into the soul. Then you have another popped up like a bat in your drop zone. You leave it there. Okay. However, now you use drag driver. You call drag wizard Mortifice out of the field. Now you have two fields. You already have two. You have let's say you have all fields, and you have let's say 2 or 3 force markers on the right and 2 force markers on the left. Okay. And let's take the left as her. Okay, as her. Sorry. Sorry, as her. Then you attack first with the grade 1. Okay? Not with her first. You attack with the grade 1. No boosted, unboosted. Then you attack with Mortar. After that she attack, you use the skill. You call in the Apocalyptic Bat from the drop zone to replace Mordred. I'm just calling her Mordred because, or Mortifice. Mortifice. I don't know. I'm so bad with names sometimes. Then, as soon as this unit gets placed, you call the other bat from the soul to rear guard to replace whatever grade 1 that was on the front on that circle. And with that, you get you get another 2 attacks. Which means in total, you get 5 whole attacks. That's right. So yeah, basically you go bang, rear, Mordred. Sorry, Mortify. Then you use the skill, bam, bat, and you have 2 new fresh attacks with now a boost ready to go. Then you attack with Vanguard, possibly drive. I don't know what you might get triggered. Who knows? That's up to you. And then you just attack with your bats and possibly win the game. Right there. Indeed. I was like, I went to try this out. The thing is, I was not able to get the combo off because I only got the chance to play 1 game with it. And my opponent was like pretty salty. I don't know why. He was pretty much rude. But yeah, that should be really it if you need to look at it. Yeah, I can show you. Like, let me go to testing. Let's see. Okay, so let's just take a look. Let's just say you have, okay, Mordred. Then you have a bat. Okay. Then you have a bat you put a bat from the soul because, you know, obviously, where's Painter? Because of Painter, okay? And let's just make an example. Let's call this, and let's just put in force 1. Then you just let's just rewrite it until we get like a good amount of, like, let's just take this example. This is my first time just trying this out, okay? This is my first time. Okay. Jeez, come on. There we go. Now we just need 1 more grade 1 to put in. Let's go with an RL. Okay. Now, here we go. Let's just pretend we have a counterblast. Let's go with this. Okay. You go everything out. Now, this is how you do it. First, your rear guard. Then you attack with Mortify, Morphissa. Then, after that's done, you counterblast, retire her. Then you call in the bat, because thanks to the bat skill when placed on rear guard, you can call the other bat from the soul to rear guard. AKA, you get 2 new fresh attacks. And because how you're now pretty much at 5 grade 1s, the drag driver gains the full power of 25k. So you basically attack like this, and what do you get? Drive, let's just pretend. Those are triggers. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah, like that. So yeah, that is pretty a cool way to get 5 attacks in. So I hope you do give this a try, okay? Because I was like, because when the limit system, when the limited does come in, okay, do give this a try. Because believe me, if Luard is already like too broken enough with that, with just war attacks, imagine having 1 more extra attack in it. Funny. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys do like this video, and I hope you don't really don't watch this as much, because I know everyone's getting tired with drag card, with basically Luard itself, because how it's so absurd. Yeah, it's really absurd. But yeah, so until then, later, fellow seekers, and have a wonderful day. Until then, take care.